All right. This is the first segment of GamIN Talk, Ep12S, and we're going to talk about some break-in news in the gaming industry as well as gaming community. The first thing, first, tell the people.
Xbox One Scorpio is coming next year, or
Rumored
probably
fresh.
this year. I'm done.
Listen, it's rumored.
I'm done.
Let me say this: the Slim. Okay, the rumor says all over the place, from IGN to GameSpot to the No, another YouTube channel. They're pretty cool over there. Sometimes they say some stuff, but anyway, bless their hearts. Look, Scorpio and the Xbox One Slim. If this rumor is true, I'm not buying the Xbox One this year. They shot my chances on ever getting one in 2016. Why? Because why would I buy the Slim when I can wait for the Scorpio? Scorpio is rumored to have 6 teraflops I'm trying to think now, because I want to say GDR5. If someone could pull up the specs for me, but
DDR5.
Pull up the specs for the Scorpio of what's rumored for me fresh, if you can help me there. But this thing is rumored to be 4 times stronger than the Xbox One. Also, be stronger than supposedly this next PlayStation Sony is thinking about making, the PS4.5, aka PS4K, aka PS4 Neo, aka PlayStation 1. If you get that reference, Matrix. Anyway, listen.
The Matrix.
If this thing comes out, why in the world would anybody say, "Oh, I gotta buy an Xbox One this year"? No, they might as well say, "No, I'm gonna wait till next year." Because other rumor, Turtles and Red, I want you to touch on this. Like Oculus, Microsoft has partnered up with Oculus, and the rumor says that that's their VR entry into this thing. Yeah. That's how they're getting into VR. They're making Xbox Scorpio. Go ahead.
Break up your pity party. Xbox One, the original, is already 1.32 teraflops, and they aiming for 6 teraflops. That's for the original Xbox One. It's going to be 4 times more powerful than the PS Neo, and it's going to come with a 2 terabyte hard drive with 4K video playback capabilities.
Is this the Scorpio?
Microsoft Horizon, dude.
This is Scorpio.
Yeah, that's Scorpio. So with that kind of power, you could run probably an Oculus, and that's their entry into VR. Now, look, Oculus is already expensive. That only makes me think that this Xbox Scorpio, this probably be a $600, $700 console. Now, listen, console gamers, let's just face it, guys. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to offend nobody, but we're kind of cheap. But then again, we're very crazy in spending a lot of money too. Like, we want cheap stuff, but we're willing to buy Overwatch for $60. You get what I mean? Like we want cheap. Actually, gamers are like women.
I think it's kind of a balance.
We don't know what we
PC
want.
Players and
I think
it's kind of a balance, though. I think it's a balance between PC players and console gamers, because at the same time they spend thousands of dollars on their consoles, but they spend less money for the games. We spend less money for it, but we spend a lot for the games.
It's like opposite. It's like a mirror.
It's the opposite.
Oh, but would you rather
new games for them would be like $20?
But would you rather put all your money towards hardware and have cheap games, or would you rather have cheap games and expensive hardware? Which rather?
I'd rather have the cheaper. If I got better.
No, answer those 2 things, please. Red, I want you to answer too.
Go ahead, Turtles.
If you have cheaper hardware, then you can't really play any of the expensive games that well. You gotta have good hardware to start off with first.
So you're going with, I want cheaper games and expensive hardware. Red, what are you saying? And Turtles, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but that's where you're going?
Yeah, so I'm going.
Okay. Red?
Yeah.
And for context for the video, Red is Static Ninja, everybody. I call him Red because on PlayStation he is Red, his gamer tag. So anyway, with getting that out the way, Red, tell us, would you rather have cheaper hardware and expensive games, or cheap games and expensive hardware?
Well, you know what? It really doesn't matter because either way, you're gonna like right now with my PS4, I'm fine spending $400 and uh damn, I'm like gonna.
Right. Here, I'm gonna give you all
I'll
a
just,
good
No, hold on. No, what you mean is like when you say the word cheap, like it's kind of like be a little bit more specific when you say that. Like cheap is what? Because it's not cheap to
No,
make a
let me say
game,
this. Let me say
and
this. I'm talking about buying, and let me say this. I don't want you to get into the details yet. I just want you to answer the question. Just answer which rather, and then I'll specify on what I mean by cheap and what I mean by expensive. But I get to you fresh after Red. Red, do you know your answer? If you don't, I'll move on to fresh.
no, I just like it how it is right now, man. Just like
What?
my console's 400 and the shit's like.
You're
no.
avoiding answering the question entirely, dude. Which one would you rather? Okay, like, would you rather cheap hardware and expensive games, or expensive hardware and cheaper games? Which rather? Which
one.
rather?
The first
Ep12S.
one.
Man, the first one is it? I can't even remember what I just said, man. Just tell me.
Cheaper hardware and then expensive games.
Okay,
No,
okay.
like
Fresh. Oh, did you have to say something, Turtles?
like I'm gonna give you an example. Like I saw this on a YouTube video a couple days ago, like Fallout 4 or something like that. Like
Mm,
there was this guy who was gonna build a PC, like designed specifically for Fallout 4. But like
mm,
that's a that's a pretty high cost right now. So like you gotta have a good starting base, like in order to like build up and branch out from there. Because like over time, eventually like the games are gonna grow, but for starters, you just gotta have a decent console to go work with.
mm, mm. Hold up, though.
What? Why a moment of silence?
Because the moment of silence actually was, I didn't hear a word Turtles just said. I don't know
Oh
what just
my
happened. I don't know what just
god.
happened. My mind just went blank, and I started thinking about stuff. I'm sorry, Turtles.
Then why you say like you was
Because
listening?
It just gave
I
like
was,
a very
I was,
inspiring monologue. This is
I
like
was
that.
thinking, I
Don't
was
edit that
thinking
out. Don't
about
edit it
how
out.
to answer this. I was thinking about how
Don't
am I
edit it
going to
out.
tell these guys.
Do not edit that out. That's nasty. Don't do it.
I thought,
Don't
man,
edit
the
it
words
out.
I
It's
gave were
good.
just legendary. And, like, I thought I just blew everyone's mind for a second, but
Dude,
no,
my
no
mind
one heard
was,
anything.
son. And you know, before I forget, I know I say this is a segment in the podcast called Break In News, but it might share the name Game In News like I used to do it earlier on my channel. So this segment actually might be called Game In News. That's probably what I'm going to put as far as subtitles go. But Turtles, if you could be a homie G man and repeat what you said, actually summarize, because people who are listening to this video.
This man went down to the specifics. You want him to repeat that?
Okay, listen. At the
Okay.
end of the day, Fresh, which rather, expensive
I'd rather
games and
have,
cheaper hardware, or cheaper
yeah.
games and
I'd rather
Did I
have
just say that twice?
expensive games and cheaper hardware.
All right, let me say this. Let me say this.
Exactly. It's
At
not.
the end of the
Don't make no
day,
difference.
the cheaper hardware and expensive games are console, and expensive, expensive. Oh wait, that's PC actually.
Hardware.
Expensive hardware and cheap games is PC. Expensive games and cheaper hardware is console. Just like how Fresh said in the beginning, my whole thing is at the end of the day, where I stand would be expensive hardware, cheaper games, because no one wants to keep
Yeah.
buying, because there's more games than hardware, right? Like PS4 is one PS4. There's not a PS 4.5 out right now, or a PS4 Hello out there right now. There's a PS4 and then a bunch of games for it. At the end of the day, I look for PlayStation sales on eBay, GameStop, Amazon, and on the
No.
PSN store. I look for those entries for cheaper games, because as a YouTuber, I try to get a lot of games, so I can talk over them and use them for the channel. So people who can't buy all those games, they can see it and check it out and say, "Wow, okay, that's actually pretty cool. I might invest in it." But
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
No,
go
man,
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
hold on. You said, wait, you invest in it. You said, so you would buy, so you choose that over cheaper consoles.
In a perfect world,
Right? You said no.
in
You
a
said
perfect
hold up.
world, Xbox One is moving towards that with the Scorpio. Expensive hardware and cheaper games. Because think about it,
Yeah, I understand
Microsoft
that.
is
I
trying
understand that,
to
but I'm saying
merge
this
the
though. You
console and
said,
PC
you
market.
said, yeah, but you said, oh, there's more games than hardware.
Well,
There's
wait,
more
wait,
games
wait.
than hardware out
If
there.
you have
But at the
cheaper
same
hardware
time,
and if you have
yeah,
cheaper
no, but
hardware and expensive games, then like you can't really do anything because like the
no, but
hardware.
I'm saying this though. You said there's more games than hardware out there. But
For the
at
PS4,
least not
yes.
every 6 months you're gonna be spending thousands of dollars. Like
Let me say
we
this.
probably buy like 10 games this whole entire year,
Let me say
and that's
this,
not
because
even at $1,000 yet.
let me say this because we may have to do a part two, obviously, for the topics I gave to Red and Turtles. But for Scorpio, this whole Xbox thing, listen, the YouTuber I told you about before we started shooting, that guy, he was talking about how these services should be like this, Fresh. Yeah, they're expensive, but everything else is cheap. Like Plus, Xbox Live, services like that are cheaper, and games are cheaper. Because think about it,
How do you
if
know that though? Hold on, just
no, no,
because
no, I'm just
the
saying
product's gonna be
speculative. But go ahead, Red. Go ahead.
no, but yeah, you're saying that okay, go with the thing with the expensive hardware, and then like automatically, how would you know that these stuff like Xbox Live is gonna be like $10? They're gonna be they're greedy companies that they're gonna want the money. So I don't know where in your perfect world you're gonna think that they're gonna be $10 or the amount of cheap enough for like
Yeah, that's
Xbox
what I'm
Live
saying. Like
or
exactly,
All I'm
what they gonna
saying
do?
is,
DLC or like
Exactly, what they
all I'm
gonna do with
saying
Xbox
is,
Live and PlayStation Plus when they got these
they
stronger
will
consoles? I might as well
fail.
go to PC because it's
No,
free.
listen though, listen. It's Xbox One. I said it in my last video, our last gaming talk. Xbox One as a mic dropper, at least one of them would be in a prediction for me, from me, would be this. Xbox Live is now not charging you to play games online. At the end of the day, Microsoft knows that their fan base on PC, because there's an Xbox Live on PC and on Xbox. There's an Xbox Live both places, but Xbox Live on PC is free to play online games. They can't. They used to in the past. They used to, all right, charge PC players to play online. They were like, nope, and they was like, okay, we can't do this because Steam is an alternative. Origins is an alternative. Like, oh, I'm gonna play games online on Steam then. Since you acting like this, Microsoft. And Microsoft, like, they're on Windows. They're on our stuff. So at the end of the day, and correct me if I'm wrong on that, anybody who has more knowledge on, oh my gosh, timer. But all I'm saying is, before we move on to part two, is they would have to go cheaper in software if they're making hardware expensive. But like I said, we're gonna move into part two. Stay tuned for that. Do everyone here, did y'all play Mirror's Edge on 360 or PS3?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. So all four of us know that Mirror's Edge is a good game. Mirror's Edge is a great game, a great game actually. That's a little bit sad.
Like,
The only one is
we not gonna have a console to
PS3.
play it on. They only just want us to buy that and then not play it.
I think they are rushing it because they want to
They
be
are rushing it.
competitive. I think they should push back VR into the next year and release the new console that can run it properly. And they should do this. And this is the crazy thing though. They announced the release date for VR, Sony themselves. So them pushing it back is gonna probably look a little bit sad.